But yeah, so a lot of the further problem that I have that kind of stems from it is that with the rise of online multiplayer, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. So, yeah, one of my frustrations is with the rise of online multiplayer is like the premier way for people to compete against each other in the long term. And also because, you know, as time has gone on, my interests in gaming and the games that I enjoy have diverged with that of my friends fairly significantly. You get a situation where I have this drive where I want to compete at a game, right? I want to be as good as I can be. I want to compete at Smash. I want to compete at Dragon Ball. But the necessity of online, the way ranked matchmaking works, and the way it should work, to be fair, I'm not complaining about ranked matchmaking as it is now. I think it's probably fine. But the necessity of that means that I never feel like I'm actually any good at any of the things that I do anymore. Because there's always somebody who'll just absolutely ruin you because they've had more time with the game, or they're just much more talented. And so, the reality is that just because that's the case, doesn't mean that there's no reason for you to keep trying, you know? But it's very hard to maintain that attitude when, you know, you just feel like you're not as good as you want to be. You get frustrated and all that kind of stuff. And so, it's really interesting that I feel like my drive to compete and do well conflicts with my ability to get better at games, where, you know, you kind of have to accept there's a limit on how good you'll get. And there's always going to be people better than you. I don't know. Coming to terms with that, I think, is going to be a large part of the next few years for myself as a gamer. You know, unless I make a career of doing this, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Ah, you'll need to... So the timing on that was slightly wrong. You want to throw it when it's 2 ahead, not 1 ahead. Which I'll remember going forward. But yeah, you don't want to see me when I'm playing fighting games online. I get into like a controller tossing level of angry at that, at them a lot of the time. And I shouldn't, right? It is objectively bad, but I do. And it's bad for myself in terms of the way I deal with competition, all that kind of stuff as well. But I can't help myself, you know, I'm really passionate about what I do. Ooh. But yeah, to an extent I acknowledge how bad that is for me as well. It meant that, you know, I bought Soul Calibur 5, really looking forward to this game. And then because I couldn't really adapt as well as I liked to a tactic that was being used very prevalently online, which was using the armor on Nightmare. Because I couldn't adapt to that very well, I kept on getting blown up by it. I just got so frustrated and I stopped playing the game. And to a large extent, that's not the game's fault, that's my own. For not being as good as I should have been. Oh, I missed it. Oh well. Damn, running out of ammo. I'll have to come back to this level at some point, I guess. And yeah, I feel like that's really, really sad, because Soul Calibur is a game which I really, really should have enjoyed a lot more. It was very, very closely linked with, you know, when I was very, very young and very much trying to understand my place in the world and all that kind of stuff. Soul Calibur 2 was a game that a lot of my friends and I played together, and I have great memories of playing that game. And it's just a little bit unfortunate that I couldn't get into 5, even though I really wanted to. Be careful by my egg turtle. Hold on, what if you throw something at these guys? Can you do that? Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, and obviously Goons rightly gave me a lot of shit about how angry I was getting at this game. Not proud of it, guys. So the red one is 2 before. There you go. Hey, it's the doggy. Hello, doggy. What's his name again? Let's go, Poochie. Yay! What a good doggy. Oh, good work, Yoshi. You can go through that. Okay. Poochie, if you go through there, and then jump up here. Good job, Poochie. Oh, Poochie, don't run off yet. There we go. Let's go. Yeah. Oh no! Yay! Go, Poochie, go! Ah, no. This is a little bit tougher, isn't it? Ooh, there's a black sheep there. I wonder if it does. Also, I wonder if you can go for like a rebound here. Probably not. I won't worry too much about it. I really like the creativity, by the way, in this level. I think the way it's blending 2 and 3D is really cool. There you go. We go there, and then grab that, and then push this. Should be able to jump to it. Oh no, it doesn't want me to do that. It wants me to go down this way or something, right? So if I hit this one, it gives me the path this way. And that gives me that. That, perfect. Easy enough. Let's go! Wasn't a great level, I don't think I got everything I could have, but still fine. Yeah, I missed out a bunch there, I think. Still, that should be more than enough. I might go and see if I can buy some more costumes. Oh, hello. Little mini hoochies. I assume I can rush through, right? Like, because it seems like a race, but I don't know if it's a hide-and-seek thing. Oh, no. They'll obviously make a sound there. Which is very helpful to me. But again, I'm liking the variety that they're offering in this game in terms of stuff that you can do. And the level creativity is being, like... I wouldn't say stellar just yet, but it's early games. It's early stages in the game yet, right? And usually if a game is showing, you know, this much creativity over something that's, you know, early levels, then it's showing a lot of promise, I think. So, very optimistic at the moment about how this is going to go. And by creativity, by the way, that's not a very specific term. So, I think what they're doing very well right now is using the 3D plane to create kind of interesting puzzles. Especially with the way the eggs are bouncing, all that kind of stuff. So here, for example, this is quite a cool puzzle. Involving you need to go around this way so you can get to the Poochie. And we got all of them. And so now I think I've got to get to the end of the level, I imagine. But also that, you know, using, for example, Poochie to get high enough to see the flower, using him to go through the pudding. All those kind of mechanics are going to be really interesting when they come back later in the game as well. Oh, do I need to go back to the beginning? I might need to go back to the beginning, okay. Which is fair enough, I guess. Okay, so legitimately, is the goal this way? I don't think it is. Okay, I might need to just get back to the beginning of the level in about as much time as it took for me to get here. Which I don't think should be too much of a problem. Oh god damn it. Maybe it's going to be more of a problem than I thought it was. Let's go! This is where we put my sweet speedrunning skills on. So speedrunning is actually something that I've been thinking about for a while. Not doing it myself. It's certainly not my game. I don't want to play the same game over and over again. Again, not that I begrudge people who do that at all. But it's just not very my thing to do, really. Maybe I went the wrong way. I don't... Ooh, that's the goal. I got it. The thing with the crown is the goal. That makes sense. Oh no, perhaps not. Is it the goal? Feels like it should be the goal. Okay, I'm just very confused at this point about what I meant to do. So I can't go back to the beginning. Because I thought that was what I was meant to do, just go back this way. Apparently that's not the case either. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do here. I'm probably going to lose this level. Oh well. It's the Yoshi game. I don't think it's going to get too angry at me if they're doing that incorrectly. Yeah, there's Yoshi's cookies. Yeah, I don't understand. Oh god damn it, I understand now. Yes. Fine. Can we retry this? Yes, please. Whoops! That wasn't very smart of me. I'm going to totally blame the fact that I had to talk to you guys as the reason that I failed this obvious test of intelligence. Anyway, at least we know what to do now. So this shouldn't be too bad anymore. But yeah, so speedrunning is something I've been thinking about. Just conceptually, of course, not something I would do. And the reason I've been thinking about it is just comparing it to other things done on a timer. So one of the things I was really thinking about is I don't see much difference between speedrunning and actual sports a lot of the time. And that may seem bizarre, but speedrunning games is very, very similar, I think, to how a lot of individual sports play out. And so the best example I could think of was potentially gymnastics or snowboarding, or a lot of those kind of sports, where... actually, not even those. The best kind of sport I would think of would be, like, bobsled. Course-based sports, where the idea is that what you want to be doing... Oop, I missed the dog, didn't I? He was walking away. So, the idea is that there isn't that much difference between a speedrunner and a bobsled team, right? Or a skeleton athlete, or an athlete doing the skeleton. And kind of what I mean by that is you have this set course in front of you that you do. You try and get through it as quickly as physically possible. And there's like an implicit understanding that the course itself will have small aspects that are like kind of different for everybody based on the time of day that you do something, or, you know, course conditions after somebody else has done their run. And the idea is that you're meant to kind of do as well as you can within the constraints of a course that's the same, but, you know, that might slightly vary and go as fast as possible through that course. And so to me, that's incredibly similar to speedrunning. And I've always been wondering why there isn't, you know, a World Speedrunning Championship of some sort. Where you could take a group of speedrunners. Yeah, look at that, perfect. But yeah, you could take a group of speedrunners and say, let's say you're doing Mario 64, 120 stars. I think that's about an hour or so at this point in time for the average runner, probably a little bit longer. And the idea is that, let's go and spend some hard-earned cash. And the idea is that you get a group of the best speedrunners in the world, and you say, the winner is going to be the person that achieves the lowest time across 3 runs over this weekend. And, you know, you declare that person the speedrunning world champion. And I thought that would be, like, a cool idea to have, maybe. Because it also strikes me, right, that speedrunning world records are done really weirdly. In that, you know, you're allowed just an unlimited number of attempts while you sit in your room, hitting this thing over and over again to try and get it, right? And it struck me that an Olympic athlete doesn't get a world record if they beat the world record in training, you know? They only get it if they beat it in a measured time at a competitive event. And so, I wonder if I can change my costume to the Go-Go Yoshi. No, not Choosy Yoshi. And so, my idea was that, you know, you can have the competitive world record, same as you always do now, but you also have, so you can have the world record the way that you do now, but you also have a competitive world record, which is where the fastest run ever done in a timed event at some sort of invitational or heats or something. And I think that would be a really cool thing that you could do. And I don't know why it's not done, because speedrunning has proven that it has an audience. And I think the athletics has proven that there's an audience for this kind of thing as well. Okay. Oh, this is amazing. Come on. Okay, I'm intensely concentrating on punching everything I physically can. This requires so much concentration. Oh, I missed the gift. This is quite hard, actually. God damn it. I'll kill you, Shy Guys! Anyway, yeah, so World Speedrunning Championship, something I'd like to see happen at some point. Ugh, that was a terrible run. I'll live with that, though. As long as it doesn't stop me from continuing, I won't bother going back. Sure. Have 10 smiley flowers. Oh, look at this. And for now, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. So thank you very much for watching. I will catch you all in the next very chilled out Let's Play Yoshi's Crafted World.